Greetings kids, Chris from ChrisCountry back with you. One of the YouTube channels I really enjoy watching is EricTheCarGuy. He actually has two channels, EricTheCarGuy and ETCG1. I'll mostly be talking about EricTheCarGuy today. For those of you that don't know, EricTheCarGuy is pretty much, you could call him a retired auto mechanic, even though he's not really old enough to be considered retired. But he makes YouTube videos on how to do car repairs, everything from diagnosis, electrical troubleshooting, how to do your brakes, just all sorts of topics. And he's even got a website and everything, and it's just really informative. I mean, just watching his videos over the last 2 or 3 years, it's actually brought me up from knowing next to nothing about cars to, well, I can't really call myself a mechanic. I actually feel a lot more comfortable about diagnosing the problem, figuring out what steps I need to take to correct it. Anyway, EricTheCarGuy had a meet and greet down in the town called Mason, Ohio, which is where his garage is at, which is just to the north of Cincinnati. He did a meet and greet a little over 2 weeks ago now, and of course my wife and I went down there and we had a blast. It was so much fun. We pretty much got to meet a lot of the other EricTheCarGuy fans that were able to come to the meet and greet. We've had folks come from as far away, like we made some friends from New York. We had some folks from Colorado, Arizona. I mean, we've had people coming from pretty far out, and it was a good time. Eric kind of gave a demonstration of like how to use a bore gauge to kind of show his conclusion on what was causing a problem with an engine block that he had in the shop, which you can probably find that out when he releases his meet and greet videos, which should be the same week that this video happens to come out. But I'll post a link to his website and his YouTube channel in the descriptions down below. We went to this meet and greet, did a bunch of videos, took a few videos. Unfortunately, a little less than halfway into the meet and greet, the battery on the phone died, so I couldn't take any more videos or pictures. Like I said, it was fun. We got to see a lot of cool things. One of the ETCG fans actually brought in a Chevy Volt, which he had since new, which it was a 2011 model. So he was showing us all the cool things about, of course, the hybrid car. And we just did a lot of things. We even had a raffle, and we got some pretty cool gifts and prizes. I got this hat, as one thing. I actually got 2 hats. I'll put on my other hat a little bit later on, and you'll just have to see if you're paying attention. But the cool thing is the other hat, Eric himself signed it, so I thought that was pretty cool. Some other things I figured I'd show you, like little neat toys I got. This emergency windshield smasher. You're like, well, Chris, why would you want to smash a windshield in an emergency? Let's say like you're driving to a lake and you can get out of your car in a hurry before you drown. Right here. Basically just a little hammer. You got the flat side, the pointy side, which is protected by this tap. And you've even got a little safety cutter, I think is what they call it. But it's pretty nifty. My favorite prize that I got, well actually Steph won it, but it's kind of mine because I'd be the only one that really will use it. But right here, the Power Probe. This, for those of you that don't know about Power Probe, they basically make DVOMs, and this thing just makes electrical tests a whole lot easier. You can find bad ground, you can test for continuity with this thing. There's just so many features, it's crazy. But I'll show you guys the back of it too. I mean, these are really awesome really awesome DVOMs. Eric uses it in quite a few of his videos, actually. He just uses a red one, and mine's camouflage. He uses it in quite a few videos. Really happy about that. We also got like little things like stickers and stuff. I mean, Steph decided to take some of them and decorate our van with them, so that was pretty cool. It was a blast. And I know I've been talking for like 5 minutes or so at least, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut to the whole reason you came to this video was to see the actual footage from the meet and greet. So roll those clips, Chris.
What was what?
Well, it came in with a misfire.
This is the one I also did the leak down test on. And we found out that cylinder number 6 had virtually no compression. And it seemed to be going past the rings because what we heard was, we heard the noise like when we took the oil cap off. With that leak down test, like if you're running compressed air into the cylinder while it's all the way up to the top, if like say you got a bad exhaust valve, you would hear it like out the tailpipe, so you can like hear the air running out there. If it was an intake valve, you hear it coming out the intake. If it was like say going into the water jacket, like a coolant leak or something like that, head gasket problem, you take off the radiator cap, you see bubbles in the radiator. But this one, heard it coming out the oil cap. Everybody always said, you know, well, I don't buy that, you know, I had said that the piston rings had lined up. And it looked, when I pulled the piston out, all the piston rings were sort of in a line, and I was thinking, well, maybe compression just slipped right past those, because when you assemble an engine, you want to stagger the rings about 45 degrees for each one, so you don't have a situation like that. So, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But this bore gauge should tell us what kind of shape this bore is in, and it looks like I'm actually going to have to take out this exhaust manifold first. YouTube and real life. Yeah, this is the real life stuff. Well, my videos are long enough where it's almost like real life.
You can have a shop full of people. If it was YouTube in real life, I have like 45 million views. They'd be standing here in the basement.
Welcome all. all of you that we can't see. All of you that we can't see. We're all having fun without you. How you feel now? Bet you wish you would have drove across the ocean now.
What did this engine come out of?
This came out of a 2007 Chevy Tahoe. This is a 5.3 liter. When this engine came out, it was replacing the old standard 350 small block, right? And I think the first time it showed up was like the LS motor that they were putting in Corvettes was the first time it showed up.
It's basically the same engine. I mean, it has aluminum heads and it has a little different connecting rods, but it's...
But this is the Corvette, this is an LS.
Right, yes.
Obviously, we're not worried about keeping it clean. This engine's mine now. We can do what we want with this. Anybody got a little Civic we put this in? That would be fun. Actually.
It's 2004 outside.
Well, it's leaving with this today. Just gonna have to miss on someone number 6. You don't need it.
No.
6 gas.
We drive 10 hours all the way.
It's like a major hurdle to get all those stores.
The general.
That's just my wife. I think it's all mental Steve.
Does your wife feel what?
Checking up on me.
Oh, is she?
Let's make sure I'm here.
She out doing burnouts in the general? How do you think I'll make this gap? But you know, that's what's funny about what I do. I've got ways that I do things. And that's the thing about auto mechanics. I mean, nobody's doing it right or doing it wrong. They just have a way. But I gotta tell you, doing what I do, you find out what everybody thinks of your way. They will, in certain terms, tell you, you should have done it this way. You should be doing it this way. You should know better. You're on the internet. You should know something. Come on, seriously.
Came back to you like that?
Oh, yeah. You haven't read the comments? I'll tell you what, just read through the comments on the HID headlights. You'll see plenty. You'll see plenty there about exactly what people think of my way. Or better yet, do synthetic versus regular oil. Oh no! That was a good one. That was a memorable thing last year.
Now, do you videotape your items as you're doing it, or somebody videotaping you while you're doing it?
It's all me, dude.
All you
Never
do.
did it. I shoot it, I edit it, I send it out to you, and I write you nice little notes about it.
You know what, Eric? It just doesn't seem fair today.
What is that?
You got 2 hands to do it. Usually you do it.
I know! To me, y'all were like, why don't you make it easy, break out the compressor? I'm like, I got 2 hands. I got 2 hands today. We're good. We are so good. I gotta lose this stuff. So you guys steal my tools? Somewhere. Oh, there it is.
Does a Snap-on man ever stop by here?
No Snap-on guy, no anything. In fact, if he does, you can pick these up. I got a few broken tools for him. Been a long time since I've been on a tool truck. You gotta notice I've been making do. But, you know, honestly, the set of tools that I have serves really, really well. And that's one of the things that I preach a lot. You know, people getting into school, they're like, what kind of tools should I buy? Like, especially when it comes to hand tools, buy the best hand tools you can get. Because you'll see a return on that investment. And I'm not saying Craftsman is bad. I'm saying Craftsman is great for the weekend warrior. But if you're going to be a professional and do this every day, there's a big difference between this socket and the Craftsman socket, especially the way it fits and the fact that it doesn't round bolts off the table. You can pass these around. Look at the difference. See how those feel in your hand? They're roughly the same size. But if you were trying to get down into a tight space with that thick end, you think it would work? The difference in price, that costs about 4 times more than that. But you can see how like this one's lighter than the rest of them. And I would say that that's because there's something happening in the cylinder. Now, what exactly is happening in the cylinder, it's hard to say. Usually what makes the cylinder nice and clean is water. So anytime you get like a head gasket leak or something like that happens, what'll happen is it'll clean the heck out of the inside of that cylinder. So you'll pull it apart and you'll see the inside and it'll be like wicked clean on that one. You know water's been getting in. Now, how that water's been getting in, everybody says head gasket, head gasket, head gasket. The truth is, that's the most common thing, but it's not the only thing. It could also be that that head's cracked, you know, in the water jacket, or it could also be that the block is cracked somewhere in here. And either one of those things, you get the same result. But people always say, oh, it's got a head gasket problem. I've always stayed away from saying that. Anytime something like that comes up, I always say you have a combustion leak, or you have a coolant leak into the combustion chamber. That's a better way to say that. That way your butt's covered.
And of course, there was your clips. I hope you all enjoyed the video. We definitely enjoyed the meetup. And again, like I said, I've got, you should see it down there, the link to EricTheCarGuy, both his website and the YouTube channel. I really recommend that you go there, especially if you got car problems, because the information, there's just a ton of it. And at the website too, there's a forum. I mean, the website's kind of a three-parter. This is how cool it is. You got like a little series of articles that Eric himself wrote out to help you do like a general diagnosis. And then you got the search function. You go in and you type in a couple of keywords or even computer codes, OBD1, OBD2. The website, it'll pull up a bunch of articles or even a bunch of forum posts, and if that doesn't help, you can also go over to the EricTheCarGuy forum, which is also at the site. You sign up, you know, it's free to register, by the way. You just sign up, just like he says, make sure you look for the activation link in your email. Otherwise, you won't be able to fully get into the forum. But once you go through all that, you can get into the forum, start a new thread, and say, hey, I got this problem. So, but anyway, go visit. I'm Chris for ChrisCountry. You can always find me at my Facebook page, ChrisCountry, or of course, feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube videos. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day, night, week, weekend, whatever time it happens to be when you're watching this, and we will see you on the next video. See you later.